Agirls Chronicles, Episode 21. The doctor's eyes widened in disbelief as he stared at the raw gold glimmering under the soft fluorescent light of his office. He rubbed his eyes and leaned closer, turning one of the pieces in his palm, speechless for a long moment. "My God," he whispered, his voice trembling. "Where in the heavens did you get this from? Does raw gold still exist in this world? I last saw something like this in movies." He looked up at a girl, completely stunned. A girl, clutching her baby to her chest, looked both frightened and confused. "Sir," she said softly, will this be enough for my surgery? And to take care of me and my baby?" The doctor blinked, then let out a small laugh, shaking his head in disbelief. "Enough," he said, smiling widely. "My dear, enough is an understatement. With this much raw gold, you can not only afford your vesicovaginal fistula repair surgery, the procedure to fix your damaged uterus, but you could even pay for a surgery to change your entire self if you wanted." He laughed at his own joke, still marveling at the glittering treasure before him. Unknown to him, that last sentence lingered deeply in a girl's mind. Change myself. The thought settled quietly in her heart. That evening, as the sun melted into the horizon, the doctor said to her gently, "You stay with me for now. It's not safe out there for you and your baby. I'll help you handle the gold properly." A girl hesitated but nodded. She followed him to his home, a modest 2-story house with cream walls and flower pots by the door. Inside, she was given a clean room to rest, while the doctor promised to find a buyer for the gold the next day. The following morning, after breakfast, the doctor made a few calls. Later that afternoon, a short, bearded man in a white kaftan arrived. He was a Malam, one of the well-known gold exchangers in the city. He greeted politely and sat in the living room, waiting patiently with his leather briefcase and a digital weighing scale. Meanwhile, the doctor called a girl into the bedroom and spoke to her privately. "Listen," he said calmly, "I know you don't understand how valuable gold really is. That's why I want to help you. Let me handle this transaction myself, so you don't get cheated." A girl, tired and trusting, nodded slowly. "Okay, sir. I trust you." "Good," the doctor smiled. "Now, bring me the gold." She hesitated for a moment, her mother's warnings echoing faintly in her mind, "Never hand all your treasure to a stranger." But this was a doctor, a man who had helped her, and she desperately needed the surgery. Slowly, she brought out the small bag from under her wrapper and handed it over. The doctor dipped his hand inside, took out just 4 small pieces of gold, each no bigger than a child's clenched fist, and started walking toward the living room. "Sir," a girl called softly, surprised, "is that all you're taking? I thought we were selling everything so I can raise enough for my surgery." He smiled reassuringly, "Don't worry, my dear. Just wait and see." When he returned to the living room, the Malam's eyes widened instantly at the sight of the shining gold. He picked up one piece and gasped, "Subhanallah. Where did you get this from?" This is pure, untouched gold." The doctor chuckled, trying to act calm, but even his voice shook slightly. "Just check it for me," he said. The Malam opened his briefcase, brought out his scale and assay kit, and began testing the gold carefully. After a few moments, he placed each piece on the scale and frowned deeply, not out of suspicion, but disbelief. Then suddenly he shouted, "Allahu Akbar. Do you know what you're holding here?" The doctor jumped slightly. "What is it?" This is 2 full kilograms of pure 24-karat gold," the Malam exclaimed. "Do you understand? 2 kilograms. The doctor was frozen. A girl, standing quietly near the doorway, gasped softly, her baby shifting on her back. The Malam, still in shock, explained further, 1 kilogram of gold is worth over $110,000, that's over $200,000 for just these 4 pieces. Allahu Akbar. A girl didn't fully grasp the figures, but she knew it was a fortune. After a long conversation, the Malam decided to buy only 2 pieces of the gold, explaining that he didn't have enough funds to pay for everything at once. "I'll come back next week to buy the rest," he promised, handing the doctor his business card. He counted through his notes, typed on his phone, and said calmly, "I can't carry this kind of cash around, it's too risky. I'll make a bank transfer." A girl looked confused. She had never owned a bank account before. So, the payment was made directly into the doctor's account. The doctor smiled brightly, shaking the Malam's hand as he left. Then he turned to a girl, who still stood by the corner with questioning eyes. "Why didn't he buy everything?" she asked softly. "He couldn't afford it all," the doctor replied, his voice light with excitement. "But listen, my dear, just from those 2 pieces, we've made about $110,000. With that, you can do your surgery, care for yourself, and even start a new life. You and your baby are rich now." A girl's lips trembled. "That much?" she whispered. She didn't understand how big the amount was, but the joy that filled her heart was overwhelming. She smiled faintly for the first time in weeks. That night, she ate to her fill. The doctor's cook had prepared rice and stew. She hadn't eaten such food since childhood. For a moment, she forgot her pain. But each time she stood up, she still had to hurry to the bathroom to clean herself. The leakage hadn't stopped. Afterward, she laid her baby down gently, covered her with a wrapper, and lay beside her. For the first time in a long while, she slept in peace, a soft, deep sleep of relief and hope. Morning came quietly. The sun poured through the window. But something felt wrong. A girl opened her eyes slowly and blinked. The room was silent. Too silent. She looked beside her, the baby's wrapper was empty. Her heart skipped. "Doctor," she called, sitting up quickly. "Doctor." No answer. She rushed to the living room, empty. The chairs were scattered, the television still on, humming softly. The front door was wide open. Her voice broke into a cry. "Doctor! Doctor, where are you? My baby, where's my baby? Doctor!" Her words echoed back into the empty house. And as she fell to her knees, shaking in disbelief, the screen faded to black. To be continued.